Hi, I'm Jayme Edwards, and I actually don't have anyone to video me. I would have my mom, but she's in the other room watching my newborn baby, so I'm going to try and hopefully do this myself. I have my phone for the video, so hopefully it's not too blurry and you can read all the terms, but I will try and explain it the best I can. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we're going to start out with chemistry terms up here. And I kind of organized it just from the way you organized it, and I used your words, functional groups. See, there's functional groups, polymers, and then relevant units of measurement. Anyway, I started out with functional, and I wrote down the two branches of chemistry, organic and inorganic chemistry, and they both contain elements. Two or more elements make up a compound. And then also, start from elements again. Elements, atoms are made up of elements, and atoms are made up, or contain, I guess, a nucleus. And in the nucleus, it contains neutrons and protons. And from protons, I branch down to atomic number because that's the main component that determines the atomic number of an element. From atomic number, I put isotope because an isotope has the same atomic number. I know it's kind of a weird way to branch things, but I had a little trouble trying to organize everything, so hopefully I'm doing the best I can. So an isotope has the same atomic number. Some types of isotopes are radioactive isotope and water isotope. Down from isotope I have a half-life, and that's the time it takes for an isotope to reach its half-life. Okay. And then back up to nucleus. From nucleus to the right, I have electrons, and that's because electrons spin around the nucleus. From electrons, I have a few different branches. I'll start with electron shells. Electrons are found in electron shells, or the shells around the atom. And the outermost electron shell contains valence electrons. Okay, so let me go back up to electrons before I lose track here. Electrons are transferred in a redox reaction or an oxidation reduction reaction. Also from electrons, where'd it go? There it is. The loss or gain causes the electric charge of an ion. And the types of ions are cation, which has a positive charge, and anion, which has a negative charge. From cation, I put two types of cations that were listed in the terms. There was the hydronium ion and the hydrogen ion. I know this is kind of confusing, but I also connected the hydronium ion all the way down over here to acid. I put presence of all the way up to acid because there's a presence of an acid. Okay, so back up to, where were we? Electron. Okay, I guess we'll go back up to atom, element. Okay. Two or more elements form a compound, as well as atoms combine to form molecules. From molecules, I put cohesion and adhesion, which are two terms that describe cohesion causes the atoms, molecules, to stick together, and adhesion causes unlike molecules to, it's a force of attraction. From molecules, I put molecular weight. That's the mass of a molecule. And molecular weight is measured in Daltons. Molecular weight is also relative to the mole because without the molecular weight, you can't figure out the mole. And the mole is measured in molarity. Or that's molarity is also relative to the mole, how you measure the mole. From molecules, I put isomer, and that's because isomers are two molecules that have the same molecular formula. So molecules form chemical bonds. Let's see, types of bonds. I have ionic bond, and I also connected that to valence electrons because ionic bond either gains or loses electrons during that process. Covalent bond. Covalent bond shares electrons. And Oh, back to ionic bonds, sorry. I also have electronegativity because that's what helps form an ionic bond. Types of covalent bonds, I have double covalent bond, triple covalent bond, nonpolar covalent bond, and polar covalent bond. And back up to types of bonds, I have non-covalent bond, and a type of non-covalent bond is a hydrogen bond. Okay, so back to chemical bonds, I can go up to compound again. Okay, so for compound, I have two types of compounds, salt and water. I connected a few things with water. They're kind of confusing to understand, but it just made sense to me. I put hydrophobic interaction because in that, water does not dissolve in that kind of interaction. And then I put water dissociates in acid, and pH is the measurement for acid. Okay, back. I think that's all. Yep, that's all the functional terms. Or did I get, I think I got, okay, so for atom, I don't know if I did this, but I also had mass of an atom as atomic weight, and that's also expressed in Daltons. So I do have Daltons on here twice, but it was kind of hard to figure everything out. There are a lot of terms. Okay, so from functional, I'm going to go over to elements, and I connected elements to types, which are critical to life. So these are like main elements that pretty much, can be found in a lot of places and are critical to basically life. We have potassium, calcium, iron, chloride, nitrogen, hydrogen, sulfur, carbon, sodium, oxygen, and phosphorus. Okay. Let me go back to, okay, that's elements. Let me go back over here to compounds. From compounds, I have a connecting line, if you can see right here. Connecting line that goes all the way to polymers. Polymers include, these are the different types of polymers, nucleic acids, right there, and made up of nucleotides and nucleosides. And then we have proteins, and then carbohydrates and sugars, and I actually kind of messed up my map, but it's kind of hard to connect these from over here. But polysaccharides and monosaccharides also connect to sugars and carbohydrates. They're all part of that group. And then, I guess these are all monomers of carbohydrates. And then lipids, I have glycolipids and phospholipids. And from phospholipids, well, actually from the whole lipid family, I connected fatty acids, glycerol, unsaturated fats, and saturated fats because they are all found in lipids. Or they're all types of lipids. Okay, so back up to chemistry terms. I also included functional groups. In functional groups, I have hydroxyl, and that contains alcohol, that group. And then I have, bear with me, I don't really know if I can pronounce this right, carbonyl, and that contains ketone and aldehyde. And then up, I have carboxyl, and that contains carboxylic acid. Sorry if I didn't pronounce that right. And then I also have methyl and amine, which contains amino acid. Okay. And then I have one more part of this map to show you. We go back up to chemistry terms, and I branched just a little branch off of chemistry terms that says includes relevant units of measurement, and some types of measurement are gram, which is the basic measurement for weight, or metric measurement, and then I have a meter, and then I have a liter, which is the basic measurement for volume, and a liter divided by 1,000 is a milliliter, or yeah, times 0.001 is a milliliter. And that's it. That is my whole map, I think. Pretty sure. I'll do a big picture right here. It's pretty big. There's the whole thing. And then I will go over the terms one more time so you can see all the connecting dots. Element, compound, all the way down. Okay, so hopefully I did a good enough job. It was really hard figuring out how to connect all of these. Hopefully I did okay. Anyways, so I'm Jayme Edwards, and thank you very much.